When we talk about racial riots in Malaysia, the first thing that comes into our mind is the tragedy of 13 May 1969. The 13 May incident was a sectarian violence occurred between the Malays and Chinese, which had killed hundreds of people. It was probably the darkest time of Malaysia's history, as the emergency orders were enforced immediately to avoid more blood being spilled. But do you know, another racial riot did occur in our country years after the tragedy of 13 May 1969. On 8 March 2001, sectarian violence between the Indians and Malays occurred at Kampung Medan, Petaling Jaya, Selangor, which then escalated all the way through Petaling Jaya, Kelana Jaya, Sungai Way, Bandarsan Way and Puchong. The riot between the two ethnics occurred during a wedding ceremony held by a Malay family and a funeral ceremony held by an Indian family. It all started with an Indian security guard on the way back from work when he found a tent erected in the middle of the narrow road in Kampung Medan for a wedding ceremony. He became agitated and started kicking the tables and chairs. His action had caused the Malay family, who had been preparing for the wedding, to beat him up. The Indian man retaliated, but this time he returned with 5 others and armed with a parang. He ran towards an Indian house a few hundred meters away, presumably for refuge, where a funeral was being held. The Malays thought that the Indian man was a member of the household, thus they set fire to a car and 2 motorcycles. Unfortunately, the spark came 4 days later when fights broke out after Indian children placed with catapults broke a van windscreen. The angry van owner, an Indian, sought compensation from the children's parents. He was joined by his driver, a Malay, but some villagers who saw the commotion thought that a Malay was threatening the Indians. By then, the rumors were flying of an Indian-Malay fight. As with all rumors, more versions followed, resulting in mounting tension among the Malays and Indians in the area. It had nothing to do with politics and religion. Both cases were trivial neighborhood quarrels. However, the riot had caused the death of 6 people and 24 injured. Police said 183 people comprising 100 Malays, 14 Indonesians including 2 women, and 69 Indians have been arrested. Security forces also seized almost 100 weapons, including homemade bombs, machetes, knives, samurai swords, catapults, chains, steel pipes, batons, and axes. The incident had shocked Malaysians, although it is an isolated case, as Malaysia has maintained an enviable record of racial harmony in its 44-year history, except for the May 13, 1969 riots.
The main cause of the racial riot was poverty due to the government's negligence, which had led to an improper education system, lack of social activities, and the lack of resources to sustain a healthy community. A group of concerned citizens comprising non-governmental organizations and individuals came together to draw up a memorandum that was sent to the Prime Minister's department asking for immediate socio-economic development programs aimed at providing adequate housing, sanitation, community centers, recreational facilities, public amenities, and the places of worship in Kampung Medan and the affected areas. This riot tragedy shall remind us Malaysians, despite our different religions, races, and backgrounds, we should recognize the importance of staying united in order to maintain peace and live in harmony, because racial conflict will not do any good to any race in the country, except tarnishing the image of the country in the eyes of the world. We have the Federal Constitution, specifically Article 8, Subsection 2, which prohibits discrimination against citizens on the grounds of religion, race, descent, place of birth or gender, and Article 136, which provides protection from differential treatment within state employment on the ground of race. Hence, by upholding the Constitution and by firming our stance of respect towards each other, we can prevent racial riots from recurring. On the other hand, the government must also take stern and immediate action against those who raise racial sentiment and insulted a religion, especially in this era of technology in which there are people who are keen on giving extreme comments on social media. If no action is taken against them, this will prompt others to do the same, and such a provocative action is very dangerous to national harmony. In a nutshell, let us all live in peace and respect each other. After all, Malaysians are always united.